Hey everyone, Disappointed Giant here. Welcome to another long play. This one is also live commentary, hoping that we don't get any cursed biomes, we don't have any unexpected deaths this time. But the purpose of this run is to just go through the game. Some folks have asked for more of these types of videos, so the purpose of this video is to kind of just go through the game, talk about some decisions that come up, talk about my choices, hopefully have some really good gameplay, have a good run. We'll kind of see how things go. But yeah, I hope everyone's well. Thanks for clicking over here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to a win. Looking forward to a positive experience here. A nice full video, but we'll see how it goes, right? So, easy. Gonna start. Gonna grab the gold. My last run did not end very well, so I died. So there's no cells here, just the gold. First, quick little optimization that I want to show you folks. I actually learned this from Modesto, one of the legends. So the starting weapons are always here in the beginning of the prisoner's quarters. They all sell for $50 too. So come down here, recycle them, get yourselves 150. It's not a ton of money. It isn't really. It's not a lot of money, but basically, it's enough to maybe get you just enough gold to buy something early on if you need it. Maybe not. But I like to do that just to kind of fill the wallet a little bit. So of course, the most important thing as we start a run is picking an outfit. So I've been grinding on this save file. It's not complete, as you can see. There's still. We still got a lot of outfits here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's still 42 outfits left, which is ridiculous. That's a lot. That's a lot of outfits. But the most important thing is picking an outfit. So last video I did the Vessels outfit. I actually meant to say in that video that I was wearing that in honor of the one and only Daniel-san, because he loves that game. But I was too busy getting my ass handed to me, and I forgot to actually mention that. But that's why I wore that last time. And then, I'm going to go for the Aphrodite outfit because I've been playing some Hades and Aphrodite's in Hades, and I feel like that's the right move. So, do I have any outfits left? Oh, the last outfit I need in this file on this save file from the Everyone's Here update is the Curse of the Dead Gods. Of course, right? You got to go through the whole game without taking any trap damage, which is ridiculous. So, all right. So starting off here, the amulet, one of each. We got one brutality, one survival. I don't love it. I prefer I should say prefer. I hope when I start runs that I get a dual stat amulet, so that way I can do stat manipulation on the way out. But since this is 1 and 1. I don't know if I'm going to find a double stat amulet. So obviously going to grab this, get the extra health, a little bit of extra damage. And let's see what we got in the tubes. So let's go through left to right. So I could take this one. Whip Sword's kind of a cool item from the Castlevania DLC. It's a double-handed item. I wouldn't use Pyroglyphs because that item, the second one up here, I'm pointing at my monitor like you folks can see me. The second one up there that's got the little green smoke coming out of it, that does more damage the less health you have, and since I have full health, doesn't really do much. Magnetic Grenade's one of my least favorite items, so don't want to take that. Over here, get the Hard Light Sword. That item's good. I like it a lot. I feel like it's a little bit soft, especially coming right out of the gate when your HP is a little bit low and you're kind of opening yourself up a bit. So I probably won't take that. Although double grenade, fire ice grenade is pretty good. Over here we have Bladed Tonfus, Ice Bow and Shield, Explosive Decoy, and Serenade. Serenade's a really good skill that requires a little bit of extra micromanagement, but the movement from the Bladed Tonfus is a little funky, so maybe not. I don't know. And then over here, I really like Killing Deck. Someone commented recently, being like, "Hey, I think in my my range tier list, I kind of put it in the middle." I was like, I take it sometimes. They were like, "Hey, you should play with it more." And I had played with it before, and I didn't play with it for a while, but I've been using it a lot more recently. I really enjoy it. So, let's get a little funky. So I'm gonna grab the Bladed Tonfus, Serenade. I'm gonna throw the Ice Bow in the backpack because we don't know how the run's gonna go. And we'll move. So like I said, the Bladed Tonfus moveset is pretty funky. So the way it works is if you hit an enemy with that sort of like dash attack, which I've whipped twice, every other hit after that will be a crit. So let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, so the first hit's a crit, and then the next 3 are crits. If you miss, they're just regular attacks afterwards. So we'll see what we can do here. There you go. So you can see I got 4 hits there. Perfect. All right. So another 1-in-1 stat scroll, or excuse me, amulet. So just gonna recycle it. If it had an extra jump on there, I might have kept it, but it didn't. Oh, this is beautiful. All right. So I was a little worried about the Tonfus moveset, but it's working out okay so far. So down there, we had we had Inquisitors, which are my least favorite enemy in the entire game. There is no hyperbole there. I do not like Inquisitors. I feel like their timing on the attacks are too frequent. I feel like it's like every second or so they're attacking you. The fact that they can go through walls is tricky, all that stuff. So I don't love them. And you folks also notice I'm using Serenade a bit. So Serenade is from the Fatal Falls DLC down in the bottom left-hand corner. It's really interesting. So you can see that there's actually 2 of them here, right? So the Tonfus is now a Serenade. So the way that Serenade works is, as you can see, there's basically left skill, right skill, right? When you activate Serenade, what will happen is it will fly around. So you can see it there. It's I guess it's like a pet, you could say. It's a pet that will follow you around and will do decent damage for really passive. Like, see that? It's just flying around doing stuff. And it also marks enemies, so you can see those red marks. When you press the button again, it turns into a sword that you can then hit. And any enemy that has a red mark, you get a crit on it with the sword. But then you see that it gives you a blue mark. The sword that flies around crits on blue. So it's like a very active back and forth kind of a thing where you want to use Serenade to get a couple hits, get those red daggers on there, switch to the sword. As you can see, it's in my main item slot. Hit the enemy to get the crits and then go back and forth. It's very similar to, it's kind of like the Hard Light Sword where you would mark an enemy with the gun aspect of that and then use the sword to get crits based on the mark. So it's actually very, very similar. But Serenade's interesting. So, and you can see too, it says the number 30 on it. When I bring it out, countdown's going to go 28, 27, 26. When I press the active button again, it'll go in its main slot and the timer stops. So what happens is that you need to hit a marked enemy for that timer to reset. So let's see, ready? There we go. So now it's going to go back to 30. So basically, like, if you don't hit an enemy with the sword part, not the passive part, with the sword part. Oop. It's getting tanked over here as I'm trying to talk about very complicated skill. If you don't hit an enemy with the sword part, the countdown will just continue down, and then it will go away. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to let that happen so you can see it. What's tricky about Serenade is it's just a lot of back and forth. Very powerful, does great damage. But the fact that you have to kind of micromanage it so much when there's already all this other stuff going on it's kind of a lot, right? And the other thing too is you'll notice that the Serenade, it has a lot of sayings, right? So it has all these red texts that pop out as you're playing. So it will kind of like get in the way. It's really, really visually cluttered, both how it moves with all the words and the fact that you're kind of switching back and forth with all these things. But like I said, it's pretty powerful. So maybe worth checking out if you're up for it. All right, so this has not been a clean prisoner's quarters by any means. I'm going to replace the Serenade with Knife Dance. So that way I don't have to worry about it. All right, I'm going to freeze this guy with parry. Take a little bit of damage from the laser. There we go. That should clear it up. And again, double one of each. So I don't think we're going to be able to do stat manipulation as we leave prisoners' quarters, right? Yeah, we're not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to do it, which is okay. It's fine. So usually, like I mentioned, I try to go for amulets that have 2 stats on them, and then what I will do is I will take 2 other stats. So if I had a brutality amulet that had 2 brutality, I would have 3 stats in brutality total. So I would leave here with 3-3-1 or 3-1-3. So that way it would allow me to get better chances of good dual scrolls. So in that example, if I left here with 3-3-1 and I was going brutality, the chance of me finding a dual stat that has brutality on it would be, I think it's 47% or something like that. It's like it's much better than the normal. I think it's like 9% or 11% or whatever it is. So if you can, definitely worth it. I feel like the extra scroll early on does not compare to the benefit of possibly getting more scrolls as the run continues. All right, so I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to grab the blueprint. Hunter's Grenade, is that what it's called? Yeah. I'm going to grab the Hunter's Grenade. There's a little bit of tech that I like to use when I get blueprints, so I want to show you folks that. So that way you can kind of see how I like to get things. Generally, you're going to want some kind of stun, ice, root to stop enemies before you grab the blueprints, but there's a cool little technique I like to use with level generation to show you. So we'll do that. Oh, thank God, there's no cursed there's no cursed enemies here. Thank God. I think I'm going to go prom. I haven't gone promenade a lot recently. We're just gonna do it. It has less scrolls, less scroll fragments, and I think 2 duels and 1 regular. So it has less scrolls than the sewers route, but I'm gonna go her anyway. Sometimes I just enjoy the prom. All right, so not much to talk about here as far as affixes go. And as you can see, all of these items are level 4. So on 5 BC, level 4 items are the lowest quality, the lowest number that you're going to get, lowest gear level you'll get. If you're on 0 BC, your gear is probably going to be 1. I think it bumps up to 2 or 3 on like 3 BC or something like that. But you generally don't want to stick with these items for much longer, right? So I'll roll with this maybe through the prom. I'm hoping I'm going to pick something else up. We'll see. But in general, when you pick stuff out of the tubes as you're going through, you're going to want to think about replacing those items instead of looking at the tubes and saying, hey, I want to, there's whatever it is. Here's a balance blade. I've been looking for that. I want to use it for a long time. It's like, you're going to want to, if you do that, you're going to want to replace that balance blade, right? All right, so mutations, here we go. So run of brutality here. Got a lot of good options. Generally, some of the ones I like to lean towards combo. I like to take initiative early on, especially with an item like the Tonfist where that first attack does a good amount of damage. You might be able to take enemies out sooner with that. Excuse me. I love Killer Instinct, Melee, Open Wounds. Those are all good. Predator's great. Gives you invisibility after you kill an enemy. But 1.2 seconds is a little bit low. I like to take that maybe as my 2nd or 3rd mutation. Vengeance is great, allows you to get extra damage and a little bit of DR after being wounded. But what I'm going to do is, if you can look down at the very sad state of my health bar, I am not doing well. So I'm going to take Gastronomy. You can take Gastro. It's a green survival mutation. You can take it off color. The only thing that changes here is that percentage. So the more survival stats you have, the more that percentage will go up. So I think with every stat, it goes up 1 or 2% or something like that. So if I was running survival, that 11% will eventually turn to 15% or 18% or whatever. Since I'm going to be taking it off color, that percentage is going to be lower. But all that is for extra damage if I recycle food. I'm taking it for the first sentence. The effective food increases by 65%. If I find a big food, it's going to heal me all the way up. That's 83%. That'll heal me to full. If I find a small food, that'll give me 25%, which will push me to about half health. So I'm going to take that. It's a great mutation, especially early on. I feel like, runs don't, especially my runs, they don't necessarily kind of congeal and come together until maybe like after the curse biome, like the corrupted prison or prison depths, or after or around the first boss, depending on how things go. So early on, I expect to have some struggles. Sick. I expect to have some struggles, but basically, Gastro is going to ensure that I'll be able to manage better, have more healing from that food, so that way I'll be able to hopefully survive a little bit longer here. All right. Ooh, you got it. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That's so funny. You know what? I didn't like that run. We're going to keep on rolling. We'll see what happens. If that's so funny. I just picked up the starting gear. That's hilarious. I meant to recycle that. Yeah, I didn't like that run. I'm just making excuses. That was really unfortunate fall. But let's change our outfit again. I'm actually going to do something sick. So the Timekeeper 4BC outfit, Collector's Temporal outfit's awesome. The Cell Head is awesome. I feel like this balance, like the colors in the head and the colors in the scarf and like in the belt, they're the same, or they look very similar. So gotta take that. Gotta look good. Especially after looking so bad. So do it again. So we got ourselves a double, one of each again. So don't love it. I'm going to look at these items over here. It doesn't even matter. There's a spoiler item in both tubes. It's totally fine. I'm just not even going to talk about it. We're just going to take the Panchaku. I'm going to take the Panchaku. Take Alucard's Sealed. And recycle the starting stuff. Grab those two things. Pop Frost Blast in the backpack. And we'll get rolling. So what's the over-under? Does anybody think that I'm actually going to be able to finish a run on my own channel that's completely dedicated to teaching people how to play Dead Cells? What do you think? Yes? Maybe? Maybe not? We'll see. Give it a good old 50-50 maybe. That was so funny. At least that happened early on. So what do we got? I don't love jumping on an enemy stuns it. That's like the Mario affix. Can kind of cause some issues. So I'm gonna switch things out. Taking that one stat out of brutality is not gonna make that much of a difference in extra damage this early on. But all right, so we got two. Oh boy. What are these guys called? Demolitioners? Demolishers. It's two demolishers. Little tricky. Grab this. Sometimes some of the double elites are a bit of a handful. I remember back in, oh my god, it might have been like 1.2 or 1.3. I forget what version it was. You could get double golems, which were those huge enemies in Slumbering Sanctuary. It was brutal. And they could also be diamond elites too. So big golems could be protected by shields as they're rampaging. It was out of control. All right, so I'm not going to grab that yet. What's burning? Yeah, recycle the oiled sword there. If I had a more consistent source of fire that wasn't the item I was going to be recycling to use the oiled sword, I would have grabbed it, but as is, Panchaku's fine. And I'm on a hunt, so as I mentioned in the first run, On a hunt for some kind of a double amulet. So we're looking for 2 of anything. 2 purple, 2 green, 2 red. Personally, I don't have much of a preference as far as build. So hopefully, if we do end up finding one of those, I will take a different color. So if we get double brutality, I'll pivot to maybe tactics or survival. Double tactics, pivot to brutality, survival, whatever. We'll see what happens. Good, all right, so we cleared the malaise, and I got the 30 door. Sweet. So I don't think. Oh, I definitely didn't get the 30 door first time because that was pretty brutal. I was too busy talking about Serenade, and I ended up getting pretty trashed. Oh, not trashed. Pretty destroyed on the way out of here. So, all right. So, prom. What do we got for? Oh, it's beautiful. No curse biomes. Getting good luck, baby. That's great. It's so funny. I think for the timestamps, I'm gonna mark that promenade. I'm going to mark that as warm-up. I think is what I'm going to call that. I'm going to call that warm-up because that's what that was. All right, so I think that's... Yeah, so right here's the Yumi. Like you can see there's a gilded Yumi inside that pay door. I'm just going to mosey on down towards the Castlevania area so that way Explorer's Instinct will kick in. Maybe not. See. I'm just trying to fill out the map so that way I can see if there are any more enemies or any more elites. I don't think so. I have a feeling I cleared everything out. Should pop once I get over here. There we go. Yep. Nothing. I think I'm actually gonna go Arboretum. So let's put a bookmark there and let's move. I haven't done a survival run in... I don't know if I've ever posted a survival run to the channel. I don't think I have. I have... Oh, no, that's not true. The collaboration I did with Modesto and Daniel San, that was survival, but I feel like I used Boy's Axe and something else. It was a very fast survival build, so I feel like it wasn't true to form. So I'm gonna go survival here again. I didn't get any good amulets, so it doesn't really matter which way I go. I'm gonna grab this radish. I'm actually gonna recycle. I think it's, what is it, 450, 600? Yeah, 600. I'm gonna grab that. A few extra bucks. So we are in great shape. We're in great shape. So we got decent amount of money. I'm actually going to buy that Hunter's Grenade again. See if we can talk about that tech that I was going to mention. So I'm going to grab Hunter's Grenade. And we're in good shape. We got the 30 door. We got ourselves some cash. We got ourselves some health. Most importantly, like good grief, right? And we got ourselves a successful prisoner's quarters. So funny. I can only imagine someone who is like watched some of my tutorials or whatever and then flips over and they're like, wait a second, this dude is spending his time posting videos where all he does is die. This is I think it's 3 unsuccessful runs in a row, right? Is there more? Hold on. I'm actually gonna, I'm looking at my computer real quick. Let me see my channel. When was the last time I had a successful full run, right? So we have the Conjunct video that I just posted. There was 2 deaths in there. The 5 crosses video that I posted, I died at the end. And then, okay, so the Everyone Here is Awesome video that I did with Daniel San and Modesto. That was August 26th. That was, oh my God, that was 3.5 months ago. Wow. That was a long time ago. So hopefully we're going to get a win here. So, all right, so I'm going to do some pretty cool tech here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take electrodynamics. I love electrodynamics. It's super good. But I only want to take electrodynamics and the Hunter's Grenade. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use use my Tesla coil a couple times, get all 3 orbs, recycle it, and then move on. So that way I can carry this with me instead of only having 1 orb, which is pretty sweet. Mad Tick, we got it. Fire Blast. Yeah, you know what? Let's do... I'm going to grab that Fire Blast. There we go. Green Fire Blast. Kind of interesting. What do we got? 80% to a poison target. Anything to poisons enemies with the parry that might get a little extra damage. So we'll see. One of the things I'm going to roll this once. I would love to get bonus 40% to electrified enemies on this. Bleeding. Let me try one more time. Was there something that... Oh, that's perfect. So going for affixes here. So the orbs are going to spread oil. The Fire Blast does crits on oil. And then this does 100% damage to burning oil. So that's super sick. So we'll grab that. And as far as mutations, like we're in good shape. I feel like I mentioned, I took Gastro at the beginning of the last run. I think I'm going to take No Mercy. So we're going to be doing a lot of dot here. So between the Fire Blast, between the orbs, enemy's health's going to be slowly and or quickly draining down as opposed to taking big chunks. So we're going to get a lot of procs from the from No Mercy. Excuse me. All right. So let's... Oh my god, this is already going to be... Oh, this is already so good. So I don't know how you folks feel, but one of my favorite noises, not in Dead Cells, in the world, are the crit noises. I love them. Oh, it's like music to my ears. I love it. So this build is just going to be all crits all day. It's going to be fantastic. Right? Okay, so now I feel way better about our quote-unquote warm-up run. This feels pretty good. Feels really good. So just, you know, it's like anything, right? You pick a sport, right? A quarterback doesn't just go out there and start slinging. They gotta practice a little bit. You know, they're gonna throw to their members of their team. They're gonna do a couple things here and there. But that's all that was, right? And I died like 2 seconds into prom after I had that super sick parry. So, you know, parried kamikaze and then just fell off a cliff. Oh, love it. Oh, love it. All right. So I guess let's talk big picture here. So, oh man. That's really funny that I just said that. I was about to talk about future, thinking about the run later, as far as, you know, where things go. If I did not have such great synergy here between the Fire Blast and the Electrodynamics, I would be thinking about pivoting to the Ice Crossbow, popping the shield on the backpack, and then going double fisting this into the Prison Depths, maybe into the biome after that too. I really like Ice Crossbow. Take it with Kill Rhythm mutation that allows you to do faster attacks when you alternate between the two. That'd be sick. But that's not the build. I feel like, you know, like I said, this feels really good. Getting a ton of crits, even if the crits are not like huge numbers. The fact that they're going to be pretty frequent is music to my ears. So we're gonna stay with this. And again, getting some nice procs from No Mercy. I feel like everything's getting executed. It's beautiful. Oh, we got ourselves a challenge rift. Perfect. And I know I've talked about this before. I'm going to do it real quick. Options, accessibility settings. You want to scroll down, secrets outline. So this is how I turn on the secrets. Excuse me. It's not how I turn on the secrets. That's how I'm able to see the secrets. And it also, any sort of breakable floor like that will show up with that too. So it just kind of helps out. Things get pretty hectic, as I'm sure most of you folks know, as we kind of make our way through. And any sort of help like that is super helpful. All right. So in addition, I'm going to be going for full clears here. So I'm going to clear every map. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to clear all the maps that I don't die in. How's that? So I'm going to clear every map, kill every enemy, and I'm going to go into all the side doors. I know some folks, oh jeez. I know some folks choose not to go into those side doors, the boss cell doors, because, you know, their item quality may be lower, or maybe they don't need the shop or whatever, but there could be enemies in there. There could be legendaries. There could be food, money in the ground, stuff like that. So, all right, so we're going to grab this curse. I'm trying to think. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Do I want to do this? What I was thinking of doing is I was thinking of changing the card from Electrodynamics to Foresight, so that way I could take a single hit in case I get hit while I'm cursed. But I would lose the extra crits, I'd lose the extra damage, so I'd be trading damage for safety. But when you're cursed, you want damage, right? You want to clear this thing as soon as you can. So I'm going to decide against that, and then I'm going to slowly and carefully make my way across here. Oh, we got ourselves a good dual stat without scroll manipulation. That's fantastic. Again, I'm going to slowly make my way across here. All right, that's the lore room. I'm going to be careful for spikes. I don't have Damned Vigor, which is the mutation that will protect you from a single hit even if you're cursed. And we've hit the end of the map. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. All right, so this pathway here, that spider rune wall, that's going to bring me to Prison Depths, which is where I'm going to go. I'm not going to go that way now because I'm going to have to go back there for the Challenge Rift anyways. There's probably not going to be enemies down there, so I would be wasting time as the malaise ticks up. So I'm going to go to the left here. I'm going to continue to clear the curse. Again, nice and slow. I don't want to endanger myself. I don't want to slam down. I'm going to let these enemies come to me. All right. Careful, careful. Perfect. All right, so we're good. It's so funny. It's like there are sometimes I'll play and I'll have a curse and I will legitimately forget that I'm cursed. I won't even realize it. But then there's other times when I play and I'm just like, man, I need to, just like how I did there. Like I gotta take it easy. This run feels, I don't know if you folks experience this. This run just feels good. Some runs, even though you're early on, just kind of feels like a struggle. Like things aren't lining up. You know, maybe the elites that you're getting aren't great. You're getting bad dual scrolls. Just doesn't really feel great. But this run feels really nice. And it's funny because the main item I'm using is not a survival item. Fire Blast is typically brutality and tactics, which is super funny. So the survival run that is not using survival items is going really well. Love it. All right. Let this guy come down here. Perfect. And yeah, as you can see, most of these enemies are getting taken off the map by No Mercy, which is great. Oh, it's perfect. So I know there's technically better ways to get more damage, right? So No Mercy gives you, it will kill enemies that are below 15%, right? Is it 15? Yeah. So in theory, you're getting a 15% health boost, which is decent. 15% damage boost, which is decent. Things like support will give you 30. I think it starts at 30 or 31%. Point blank starts at 30, 31% for extra damage to close range attacks, stuff like that. So there are better ways to get more damage, technically, but when you're doing dot damage over time, you know, Alchemic Carbine, something similar to what I have here, No Mercy can be really helpful. I like it a lot. All right, so this is the pits. So I have 57 kills, and there's only 2 enemies on the map. We got one there, and we got one there. My hope is that there's this door here. Oh boy. That's a shame. So I accidentally hit the skill. I accidentally hit the skill that procced my, what do you call it? The electrodynamics. So I am no longer with the orbs. So what I might end up doing is grabbing a skill. See, this is quite unfortunate. Right. That's a shame. So I'm gonna move it back. I'm gonna go back so that way I only have a single orb. Not the best. Again, this is why I ended up using the Tesla coil in that room before I came here, so that way I would be able to have 3 orbs instead of just 1. But it's not the end of the world. It's okay. I'm hoping that I will be able to get some kind of a skill or something from the prison depths. So we'll see. And that's it. So what I could have done is there's this item, this area over here. So when I was talking about the ice crossbow, there was the scarecrow sickles there. If I left those and I was just like, hey, I'm not sure what I want to do with this run, I'm going to let this chill for a bit, I could go back there now and either take the scarecrow sickles, which did put oil on, I'm pretty sure, or I could use that skill to then get extra orbs, which I didn't do. So a little bit of regret there. And also one of the worst feelings is to have 59 kills in an empty map. Super sad, right? Super sad. All right, so let's grab that challenge rift. So I'm going to take this amulet. It has 2 extra jumps as opposed to 1 extra jump. It also gives me extra health. So as you can see, let's see if I got 1453 versus 1399. It's actually not that much of a difference, but gives you a little bit extra health. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this with me so that way I have the double jumps. I love double jumps in general, but in challenge rifts, they're fantastic. And yeah, so this is recycle this here, grab a survival stat. And I should have had the foresight to do this, but instead of going through the orb thing, like I just talked about, I'm going to take the card that prevents damage into the challenge rift with me. So as of, I think it's as of version 3.5, the last and final update, I'm fairly certain that Foresight protects against trap damage now. So I'm going to take that with me just in case. You'll know that it works if you see an icon over my head that has like a little, I think it's like a little red, oh, there it is, right? So there you go. So it worked. It worked. I could have just had better movement and not done what I did, but oh, sick iframes, but it worked. So there we go. Man, a lot of little things happening, right? So I messed up when I fought that elite. That was a panic. That was a panic thing, by the way. I had just ended up pressing my skill button out of habit because I usually have like knife dance or I have like a turret or something like that. And when I pressed it, it deactivated my orbs. Super shame, but yeah, we were able to use the foresight anyway, so we're good. I'm going to go up here for this health. What am I at here? 74%? Yeah, I'm going to take it instead of recycling it. All right, and we're going into prison depths. And unfortunately, prison depths is cursed. And I do not want to skip this biome because that extra curse is going to be important. So I'm going to take it. All right. Oh, so sad. We were so close. We were one enemy away. So, oh, here's what I'm gonna do. Gonna unlock this barnacle I just got. I'm gonna use that to get my orbs. I fully recognize that some of these optimizations are just not helpful. Some of you people are gonna be watching this and be like, why does that even matter, dude? Like, what are you doing, right? But it's just like little things like that I like to kind of look for, so that way I can do my best to optimize with the options that I have, even if I'm not playing as great as I usually do or whatever, you know? All right, so I am going to take Damn Vigor. So I'm taking this not just because there's a curse in this biome, because it is a cursed biome. So enemies in here, if you folks saw my last video, enemies in here can curse you pretty quickly, and this will save me from dying while cursed if I can kill an enemy within 2 seconds. So we're going to roll with that. Like I said, I feel pretty good about this build. Health-wise, we're doing great. We have all 4 flasks. We're at 100% health. Excuse me. So we're doing great in that department. Build just feels good. Let's see what we got here. So we got a tornado. So I'm going to leave this here. Burning oil and spreads oil. Oh, that's beautiful. So I'm going to leave that here. And the reason for it is that I mentioned we got the Hunter's Grenade. I'm going to use that tech in this level to show you folks how I like to get blueprints. So I'm going to leave that there because that's going to leave an open spot. So I'll have, if all goes well, I'll have tornado and electrodynamics as we head out of here. All right, so this is going to be a slow curse. Like I mentioned, sometimes you just want to take it easy. Electrodynamics can pull enemies on 4 and 5 BC, as you can see, just being close to them. So I can also just do this. Oh my goodness. Am I going to cheese this curse? Am I going to cheese the curse? I think I am. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. All right, so I can't cheese this, though. Oh, yeah. Think of all the times those slashers have ruined a run for you, right? Think of all the times you end up getting caught somewhere. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I'm going to get cursed. No, I'm not. Just think of all the times that those enemies have taken advantage of your runs. Have ended your runs in infamy. Awful. And just being able to hang on a ladder and use actual electrodynamics to take them out just feels so good. So good. All right. Here's one of the cursed enemies. I'm just going to... Wow. These enemies are popping in. That cursed enemy will shoot skulls at you that will curse you. I think it's 5 curses if it hits you, so you definitely want to be careful. Their path is a little erratic, so you want to be careful with those. So I'm going to leave that masker there, so you can see the little icon above its head that shows it has a blueprint. I would like to use my blueprint extractor on that. So if I don't find another enemy that pops up that I want to use it on, I'm going to use it on that one. So. Got a legendary. I'm not going to look at it yet. My main priority here is to make sure I can get all these enemies out of the way. Right, and we got a money shooter. Oh, legendary money shooter is so good. So I'm gonna pop that in the backpack. I think we're gonna have some fun with that a little bit. I find that it does really well in levels that aren't so tight. I love using money shooter in something like the Ossuary or. What's the other one? Fractured Shrines, like stuff like that, where there's plenty of room for that projectile to travel and do good damage. So, sore loser there, so that enemy. Look at this. Just gonna do it again. We're cheesing. We're cheesing, baby. It's a little tricky here. So. Hammers are always hectic. I feel like there's all kinds of stuff happening. They got the little bugs that they spawn. They have the bombs going everywhere. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment to go back and get the cursed. Excuse me. Oh, that's really far down there, huh? So what I could do here is I could go down there. Grab the Malaise food so that way I'd be at whatever it ends up being 53. But I'm gonna mosey on and I'm gonna see if I can get good food from one of the enemies that's already on the map, so that way I don't waste time while the Malaise continues to tick up while I'm going for that food. So at some point someone's gonna drop something good. There it is. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we'll take it. That should hopefully get us through. All right. Good shape here. All right, so what do we got here? Double slashers, huh? What are you guys up to down there? You just chilling? What's going on? How's your day going? Everything going all right? All right. Well, this is great. So burn the ground when I run, downward smash for oil. That's fantastic. I'm not going to take it yet because... Actually, you know what? I am going to take it. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to leave the jump one on the ground just in case we see a challenger. So, oil crits and water, which is... I guess that's true to form, right? Okay, trouble. Trouble. All right, so this is not great. I don't love this. And that enemy, so the enemy that throws the cursed skulls at you does not teleport. All right, so I'm gonna try to take this thing out. All right, we're okay. We're okay. I'm just gonna wait until this passes. We're good. Come down here. All right. And now, is that everything? Did I get every enemy? So there's one. Oh, this is so funny. This is so funny. All right, so I'm gonna do something dangerous. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Ice Shield instead of Alucard Shield. I'm going to recycle this amulet. So we went through the whole level, did not see a challenge rift, so I do not need to keep this on the map. So I'm going to recycle this here. Oops. Recycle it. Okay. Going to make my way up here. I'm going to teleport back to the mid shop. It's actually probably quicker to do this. I'm going to teleport back here. I'm going to grab this food. And then I'm going to use the Hunter's Grenade on that elite. This is... I do not recommend doing this. This is... arrogance not the right word. I just want to... I want to stick with my original plan and basically use a Hunter's Grenade here. And tell you, so basically like the technique that I use, so if you check this out, so there's, you can do this in any level with any generation as long as there's a height discrepancy here of 1 or 2 tiles. So generally what I want to happen is I want to use the Hunter's Grenade on that masker. It's going to turn it into a zombie. I'm going to lure the zombie over here, right? Yeah, I think this is a good spot. I'm going to lure the zombie over here, and then because it's at a different height than me, it's going to try to teleport to me instead of attacking. I'm actually going to do it over here. I think that this is going to be safer. We got 2 tiles here. So it's going to get stuck, which means that I will be able to grab the blueprint. So just going to take my time. All right, so zombie's not too bad. All right. Want to get the health down to about 40%. So I can use the extractor. All right, here we go. So I'm going to come up here. Wow. That did not did not go as planned. That's so funny. That's hysterical. All right, well, we're just going to keep on rolling. So what would have happened is that I would have ended up bringing the enemy over there. I should have got rid of my electrodynamics. I should have known better than that. I could have gotten rid of the electrodynamics, so that way I'd have foresight, and then I could have used Tornado to bring him back. That's fine. All right, so what are we looking at here? So we get a level 6 Fire Blast. We have our level 7 Electrodynamics. Like I said, this feels really good, but at some point we're gonna have to switch things up. So I'm gonna take that opportunity now. Yeah, Electrodynamics are fantastic. They help get us through. Help get us through those curses, cheese the hell out of those enemies, but we're gonna mosey. So the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch over to the money shooter. All right, so now we have a completely different build than how we walked in here. So had the, what was it, Fire Blast, Alucard Shield, and Electrodynamics. We're leaving here with Money Shooter, Ice Shield, and a Tornado. So a little bit different. So this build's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. So what do we have? Yeah, so Money Shooter, this is sick. So when I was mentioning earlier that I like to use this in levels that aren't so tight, the fact that The legendary pierces all targets means you're going to get a bunch of hits down the line, especially in a level like the Ossuary where you have all those corpse juices. You got Inquisitors in front of and Spinies or whatever. Like you're going to have all that stuff. It's great. And we're going to get some money back too. So I don't anticipate spending too much money. All right, so I'm going to roll off Damn Vigor here. So, and again, so we're not using damage over time anymore, right? So it may not be beneficial to have No Mercy anymore. So we're going to switch it up. So I'm going to use What Doesn't Kill Me so I can get a decent chunk of health on a successful parry. Work on that. I got 2 more to choose here. So this is one of my least favorite things about survival is that it's kind of I feel like mutation wise I feel like it's much more limited. It's basically like you can heal more, you know, it's either damage prevention or it's shield stuff, so it kind of like slows you down a bit. I don't love the fact that, you know, this is what we got for mutations. There's some good ones in here, don't get me wrong, but I feel like when I play survival I'm kind of like, what do I want to do, right? What do I want to do? I'm just going to take recovery just in case. Oh, I have to pick something else too. Oh, lucky. Lucky me. How about, I'm going to take Tranquility. So, off color, getting 25% damage if there's no enemies near. And my plan is to use this money shooter. My plan is basically to turn this into a tactics build, right? We got Tornado. We got money shooter. We got Tranquility. All right. Beautiful. Talking about those crit noises. Love it. Perfect. So every shot takes $150 and you get $50 back, I think, or 75 back with every enemy you kill. Right? Oh, it's plus 75 for every enemy you kill. So a little bit of a deficit, but this is just so fun to use. I really enjoy it. Right through. Pierce them all, baby. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can find terrain here so I can do that Hunter's Grenade. Oh, this is perfect. So I'm hoping that that archer's still around here. I guess not. Wow. Is it just me or did that archer just disappear? It's so wild. Take him out. So you can see, so I came in here with like what, 20, I think it was 27,000. Got 26, so it's not like a huge, difference. I am losing money on every shot, but the fact that it does so much damage, and the fact that as it pierces more than one enemy, you get 75 for each enemy that you hit, it's pretty special. All right, so I grabbed that food. I could have waited since I have What Doesn't Kill Me, but I'd like to, I don't know, I feel like I should be a little bit cautious. I love Flawless too, but it's level 6. I'm just going to pop that. Did I hit I accidentally hit miscellaneous skills. That's hysterical. Well. Anything good? Ice grenade? I don't know. Let's keep that there for a bit. So since I just changed my build, right? So we got a level 8 tornado. We got this cool money shooter. I don't want to start thinking about changing anything else up yet. I'm enjoying the way that this build is moving. The first part of the build was great. This part of the build's great. So I feel pretty good about it. Keep that there for the jump in case we see a challenge rift. So I'm going to keep that ice grenade in mind, keep the cat in mind, but we'll see we'll see what else the level brings us, right? We got a curse, so we're gonna get some kind of a colorless item. So that might bring something exciting to the build. Might be something we can recycle. Who knows, right? Oh my God. So I mentioned, I think it was in my 4BC video, Ossuary is not a great level for melees. So as you can see, look at this. So we went all the way. So I killed the elite here, this whole hallway, and then this whole hallway, and then that hallway, and then this elevator have no enemies in it. So that whole time, the melees was ticking up. So even though I do love the Ossuary, this is a great level. Higher BCs, that melees just starts loading up, right? You just start cranking with the melees. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this guy with the tornado. I was gonna say let him transform. I'm gonna see if I can parry him to slow him, and then we'll take him out. Perfect. You may have noticed, so that that elite slasher didn't drop anything. So melees elite enemies do not drop items. Every regular elite will. So you'll get usually a necklace, but you might get a weapon. Sometimes they carry legendaries, like you'll see the star over their heads. But every elite drops something. But melees and elites do not drop anything. All they do is lower your melees a bit. So what you can do is you can clear them right off the map, or if you prefer, you can wait until they transform, so that way when you kill them, they actually take off more melees than they would have if you killed like a regular enemy. So, all right, you got something for me? You do. All right, so let's see. So I'm going to take this enemy. Let's take it by the stun grenade. Let's see if I can get it to come with me here. Let's go, man. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I don't need to use that tech when I have when I got the ice shield. We're good, baby. We're good. But hopefully I explained that tech well when I was going through the prison depths, because you can use that, you know, as long as you have 1 or 2 tiles. Like right here, there's an enemy right there. You could hop up here. The enemy will teleport to you since it's an elite. You just have it teleport. You stand here with your back towards this, like the enemy will teleport on top of the wall. So basically, like, you can just maneuver the enemy to teleport, use that hunter's grenade, and then you can profit. All right. So we still haven't found the curse yet. I don't love that. I don't love that there's no curse. Hopefully there's enemies in here, which there aren't. I was gonna say, sometimes what I'll do is I will keep doors and I won't go in them. Like, or if I see enemies, I'll leave. So that way, if I get a curse, I can go back in there and use those enemies to clear the curse in case the map gets totally emptied out. But we'll see. So I think this, yeah, this goes to the right. Oh, man. So let's see. So I wonder. So what I think, yeah, so if you see down here, that generation, so I'm assuming that if I were to teleport to this, where am I? Yeah, if I were to teleport to this teleporter, I would go down this hallway. There'd be some level. There'd be some level on this side. Have the generation. The exits are probably down here, which means that the curse might be up here. Generally, the curse is not close to the exit. So my hope is that once we get up here, we'll see the curse. So that way I'll have... Yep, perfect. All right, so we're good. And another non-survival item. Snake Fangs is really good. Or I should say Snake Fangs is good. I feel like damage is a little low, but it's a lot of fun. So... All right, so we're good. So we got plenty of level here. We got two pockets we can explore. So we got this one here. I'm going to go this one first. And then if it looks a little bit gnarly and I'm not comfortable with the enemies, or if there's an elite nearby or something, I may not take this and go in the other direction. We also have Tornado to push enemies away. We got Tranquility for a little bit extra. Yo, we got Tranquility for a little bit of extra damage. This is all fine. I'm not too worried. Famous last words, but I'm not too worried. Yeah. Oh, we got an Inquisitor down there too. There we go. Perfect. See, no problem. All right, so I think what I'd like to do, so I might keep the money shooter into the Concierge fight. So, you know, that fight, if you're at a distance, you have a ranged item that'll give you an advantage because he's kind of slow and his attacks are fairly predictable. I'd like to take this with me into that fight, but then I'm actually gonna get some survival items. That way we can make this a proper survival build. If I wanted to, I mean, I do want to play tactics, but if I was going to play tactics, I should have picked purple, right? But hopefully this shows too, like, you know, there are keeping your mind flexible, keeping your mind open, keeping your build flexible, so that way, like, when stuff comes up, you can say, hey, listen, yeah, I just took a survival build, and there's all these shield mutations and stuff like that I can use, but I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna pivot because this Electrodynamics is going to be great. This Fire Blast is going to be great. You know, this Money Shooter is going to be great, whatever it is. And it could be the opposite, too. Sometimes you're playing tactics and you get a legendary Flint and you just say, all right, you know, I have lower HP. I'm at a higher risk using a melee item instead of a ranged item, but this legendary Flint's too good, so I'm going to take it. You know, so just kind of think about that. Like I said, keep your mind open, keep your build flexible, and just see what the game decides to give you, you know? I'm going to parry this. There we go, a little extra health. All right, so what else are we looking at here? So I didn't miss any enemies up top, so we're in good shape there. Ooh, so we have regular scroll, good scroll, in a start enemy. I am hoping that that's a legendary. I just love legendaries. I feel, I don't know, whenever I see one on the map, it just feels mostly exciting. Sometimes you get something like Taunt or or whatever, and you're just kind of like, all right, man. But generally, you know, it's exciting to see what kind of legendary can pop out. So, but again, it could be a Philosopher's Stone, could be a scroll fragment, could be a legendary, could be a scroll. What do we got? Just a scroll. Bummer. But like I said, we got ourselves a good dual stat down here when I eventually make my way to it. I don't know if you just noticed that, but I was going to fall and take damage, but when I used the money shooter, it reset my velocity on the way down, so I actually didn't get stunned, which is pretty sweet. That was unintentional, but it worked out. All right, so let's clear these out. Yeah, it's just a lower room. Hop down here to get the duel. Let's see which boss this is. I hope this is Master's Keep. It's Blackbridge. All right, I was gonna say I hope it's the Master's Keep for the death fights. That way I wouldn't have to go back and forth, but it's all right. One of the things that I don't love about this new generation is levels like this where there's two bosses, and they do the same thing in the distillery with the lighthouse exit. There's no teleporter right near it, so you have to kind of go back and forth, which is a little bit of extra time, but see who's left. These guys, perfect. All right, so we're good. So how are we looking? 91% health. That's not bad. That's good. We got one more enemy up there. We'll grab that one too. So let's do some cleanup. So there's one enemy over here that I missed. It's just gonna be a regular enemy. Yep, just one of these fellas. Take him out. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to recycle this amulet. I'm going to recycle the food. I'm not going to take the food. It would heal me to full, but it would add an extra bar of malaise. And when you kill Concierge, I think it gets rid of 5 malaise, I want to say. So that would just about clear me out. But if I ate the food, I'd have extra malaise, which I'm really just don't want. So we're good. So what I'm doing here, I do this all the time. It's pretty obvious, but one of the things that I recommend that you do is before you walk out that door, right? Before you leave the biome, before you go to the boss, wherever you are, just take a moment to just do a quick scan or maybe a more thorough scan of the map just to be like, all right, did I miss any enemies? Is there any room? So you can see here, this door with the coin on it. I'm pointing at it like you can see my monitor. This door here with the coin, that's a shop. Oh, excuse me. There's another door that was down here, this door with the treasure chest. If you look at those doors, they're dark, right? So if you look at the Master's Keep door, see how the outside where the arrow is? If you look at the outside of the door frame, it's light and then the inside is yellow. The doors that you've already gone through are darkened. So I know just by looking at this, I already went into that chest room. I already went into that food shop. There's nothing in there for me. There's nothing else here. So I'm good. So I'm just gonna head out. You know, we did a full clear of the map, traverse just about every tile. So that way, if anything comes up, you know, like right here, I think there was a gem, challenge rift, anything like that. So we're good, right? So let's roll. All right. Take a quick sip, excuse me. All right, so we are almost at our first boss, and we are an hour and 6 minutes into the video. Is that what we're working with today? Is that what we got? Is that what's going on? I think it's going to be a long one. All good, though, right? All right, so I'm just going to continue to pop cells into the outfits. I scrolled down the last one. I have so many outfits left to unlock. It's a lot. This is a lot of cells. But if you play on 4 or 5 BC, you can get up to like 1,000 cells a run. So you can knock out a 300 and a 750, one per run, give or take. All right, so I'm not going to change anything here. So there are things that I could do, right? So looking at this here, I could keep Tranquility because I have Money Shooter. That's going to be great. I could also take Support. So that way it would do extra damage being near the turret. You know what? I'm just going to do that. I'm like talking myself into it. I'm going to take Tranquility. I'm going to take Support. And then I'm not sure what I should take for the last one. Maybe, what are we at for Instinct here? That's the, so I could do that to get some cooldown. But I mean, the Tornado I think is a 20-second cooldown. 18 seconds, traps 14 seconds. It's almost not really worth it. I'm just going to take No Mercy just to smooth the fight out just a bit, just to make it a little bit faster. Do you like how I try to like tell you folks, I'm like, here's something that I could do, but I'm not going to do it. And then I say, actually, what the hell? I'm going to end up doing that. That's pretty sick. All right, so I'm going to use the Tornado, drop the turret, and then back up enough so that way I'm getting the Tranquility bonus, I'm getting the Support bonus, but it's close enough to trigger the turret. So when I fight Concierge, you just notice there I stopped attacking for a sec. So there's a period of time when if you do too much damage, he'll put his... oh, perfect. That was like cinematic. What will happen is like he'll be walking towards you, and then you'll do too much damage, and his shield will go up, and then you won't be able to get out of it. So there are times where I actually like to pause, allow him to come closer to me with his shield, so that way when it's done, I can go past him, do more damage, and not get trapped in the corner. It seems a little bit counterintuitive, but it's actually helps out. So that worked for me there. So let's see. All right, so I love legendaries. Let's see what we got. Ice Crossbow. You know what? I am going to take this. So technically, Ice Crossbow is a survival item. I'm going to throw the Ice Shield in the backpack. I'm going to recycle the Money Shooter. Thank you. With gratitude, I'm going to recycle the Money Shooter because that was That was a ton of fun. And now we're gonna do a legitimate survival build. So let's take a look here. So the legendary affix here on the crossbow. So enemies thaw more slowly when you hit them with the regular bow. And then the piercing shot, victims freeze nearby enemies when they die. That is such a good affix. So you can roll this on the normal piercing shot, and basically what will happen is when you kill an enemy with this piercing shot, the enemies nearby will freeze, which is great because the piercing shot does critical hits on enemies that are frozen. It's really, really good. So looking at the affixes here, so what do we got? We don't really have much here, right? So we got bleeding. So this is good. So I'm not going to re-roll this because it does 60 damage to bleeding. Upon thawing, the enemy suffers for bleeding. So I'm going to keep that here. We got poison, burning oil. I'm going to see if I can get poison here on the trap. Burning, oil, toxic cloud. Okay. 80% poison. We got a toxic cloud here. Poison. We got bleed on that. I'm okay with that. So, and then this one here. All right. So we're good. So I'm gonna dump some cells to the Furious Tick outfit, and then we are gonna mosey on. And now, finally, after the first boss, we're gonna do a proper survival build. So I'm gonna do Armadillopack to get that parry when I roll. I'm gonna grab Kill Rhythm. So this is 32%. So without Kill Rhythm, that's how fast the ice crossbow works. And then with Kill Rhythm, that's nice. Nice. It's like a nice little difference. So not a giant difference, but it is noticeable. And then finally, for the last mutation, I'm gonna stay on color. I think I'm just gonna grab Necro. I don't really need it, but at this point, the percentage is I think 3% is where it caps. So the percentage is at the highest it's going to be, and it's just a little bit of extra cushion. So we're good. And let's see what we have. So not going to do Still Village. I don't want Curse Biome. I do not want to go to Fractured Shrine, so we're going to do Slumbering Sanctuary. Unless, did I already skip Bank? No, let's do Slumbering. I do like the Bank. It's just it's going to be longer than the Sanctuary. And this video is already, oh my god, we're pushing an hour 10 here. So, and I haven't even I just made it past the first boss. All right. So I am a big fan. Ice crossbow. Big fan of Armadillopack. This is doing great damage. So even on its own, without the even without the crits, the piercing shot does pretty well. So I'm gonna roll with this. So what I'd like to do is maybe keep this until right before the second boss. Is this the curse? Early curse? Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna check ahead real quick to make sure that I'm not walking into a disaster. I know there's a masker somewhere. I thought there was. And I'm just scoping out ahead real quick because if I would prefer to not lose this run. I would prefer to not lose this run. Like I said, this run has just felt really good. Yeah, this will be fine. This run's felt really good, and I'd like to continue it. So, and that's another thing you can do is you can, if you see a curse, you don't have to take it immediately. Take some time and poke around. I can't tell you how many times I've walked down a hallway immediately taking a curse, and then there's a knife thrower there, and I just get wrecked. I'm gonna get rid of this because the turret that we have is gonna drop poison, does good damage, it stuns. So I'm gonna keep that. Basically, it's the Bombard and the Heavy Turret are very similar. They also, I believe, both give plus 10% damage. No, it doesn't. All right, doing all right. Again, this is all right. So there's an elite down there. That's another thing. Make good use of your camera as you're walking around. Just kind of poke around and see what's nearby. I don't want to aggro that elite. Oh my god. For those of you who wonder why I love Armadillopack so much, that is the clip that you need. That was beautiful. All right. All right, this is great. So I'm going to let this enemy teleport and clear that curse. Perfect. That was actually... I was going to say, that was a short biome. I thought that the switch was up there, but that's just the chest room. So there you go. Done and done. So I'm going to switch this out. The reason why I'm going to switch this out is the amulet I have is quite good. I like this burns the ground when you run, but what it does is that burning will defrost enemies, and I don't want that. So I'm going to get rid of that. That way, just in case, you know, small thing, I might freeze an enemy and then roll through it, and then it might defrost, and then I won't be able to get the crits on it. So decided to recycle. And it's had the same, pretty sure it had the same stat spread. So not gaining or losing any stats either in health or in the damage. Boom. All right. I'm going to keep that there just in case we find ourselves a challenge rift. Right? And again, this just doing work with this ice crossbow. This is great. Fantastic. So this should be a door, right? Okay. So another thing. So when you come to Slumbering Sanctuary, there are rooms that could have enemies in them. So far I've been 0 for 2. Both of the rooms that I've went into did not have enemies, but if there are enemies in there, there will also be statues, just like the regular part of the level. So what I like to do is I like to go in there and then clear out the room and then go back in after I hit the switch, so that way I'm not dealing with enemies and statued enemies at the same time. All I'm doing is I'm just going in there to take care of the statued enemies because I already got rid of the rest of them, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is my exploration of Sanctuary is a little bit unconventional. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I clear out the main area and then go down the arms of the level. So there's going to be 2 doors that are locked. There's one here. The other one's going to be down here. It just hasn't popped in yet. As I mentioned, there's enemies that are in statues that are going to start popping out. What I like to do is I like to go through here, get all the enemies. Oops. Get all the enemies that are awakening from their slumber, if you want to call it that, and then I'll go down each arm and have to deal with the regular enemies and the statue enemies at the same time. So unfortunately, you have to do it in those sections, but the main section you can kind of take a little bit of your time. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go down this side, I'm going to activate the gate, and then I'll grab this fragment first. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Yep. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to traverse back here. So similar to, like I said, with the Ossuary, what I'm about to do is going to make the melees tick up. These are long hallways here, so I am going to get a little bit extra melees. End of the day, it's not a huge difference, or excuse me, not a huge deal, especially with a build like this. I feel like I'm clearing things quick. I'm doing pretty well overall. So as you can see, the melees is kind of stuck at just about 3. Yeah, it's stuck at just about 3. A little bit lower than 3. There we go. So the sweet spot is if you are below 2 melees, enemies are not going to spawn in. So you don't have to worry about that. But once you start getting past, 4, I'm going to recycle this here. I just, between Necro and 4 potions, I don't want to have to come back down this hallway. Yeah, once you start pushing 4 and 5 melees, the spawning rates get a little bit crazy, and then enemies start to teleport together, so it becomes a bit of a mess. So if you can stay around that 2, maybe 3 melees, it's like a pretty good. You don't want to get super high, but it happens sometimes. All right, so we're good. So there is a 10% chance that we're going to run into another curse here, so that could be a possibility. I don't want to be cocky. I'm not too worried about it if we do happen to get another one. The biggest challenge for surprises in this level is you don't know if any of these statued enemies are going to be elites. There's no warning that enemies are going to be elites. The statues aren't bigger. They don't look different. An enemy can just pop out and be an elite, and then you can immediately be in the middle of a fight with an elite golem, and you didn't even realize it was going to happen. So something to be mindful of, you know, because these, as you may know if you've been through here, you know, the statues activate on proximity, so it's not something that you can really control. Sometimes you just get too close to something, and then it pops out, and then you're already in the thick of it. All right, so we're good. So this is Clock Tower Cavern. How are we looking? We got Sepulcher, Cavern. I think I'm going to take Sepulcher, actually. I feel like the ice crossbow is going to do pretty good there out of all the biomes. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. Yeah, like I said, I mean, again, no excuses. All you know that I am the first person to tell you that I make mistakes all the time. See, there we go. You get an elite just pop right out of that statue. I had no idea. I'm the first person that tells you I make mistakes all the time. You know, I'm not excusing or whatever that first death I had. That was pretty bad. But like, this build just felt good, like right off the bat. Like I just had a better feeling about this run. Fire Blast is great. Money Shoot is great. This legendary ice crossbow is great. It's fantastic, you know. All right, so we're good. Going into, I think there might be one more scroll hidden around here. Maybe not. Let's see. But yeah, so we're gonna go through here. I think there's gonna be one or two more rooms. Yeah, we're done, so there's no more scrolls. So, ooh, God. So right here is the Masochist blueprint. If you folks haven't gotten it yet, great blueprint. Caps trap damage at 10%. The humor in this is, oh, that's really funny. Those iframes are beautiful. So the humor is that someone's going to look at this and they say, oh, I just want to slam down here. And if you slam down anywhere but the middle, you're going to take trap damage. So I feel like them tucking Masochist away in that little corner is cheeky way of them just oh wow, look at that generation up there. Cheeky way of them being like, hey, if you had a way of minimizing trap damage, that wouldn't have hurt as much. By the way, here's Masochist, right? All right, so this is really strange. So you don't often, I could have just looked at the map, you don't often see generation past the traps like this. So, oh, we got a teleporter, which is good, and this is a lore room. Okay. So that's actually really, that's super interesting. All right, so we're going to take Sepulcher. But I should have known that. So there is a teleporter after every, what do you call it? After every switch. So whenever you find the switch in the Sanctuary, there's going to be a teleporter nearby. I chose to walk back to those other rooms, so I did not see that teleporter. If I did, I would have, or if I went to go for the teleporter, I would have saw that scroll, saving the trouble of going back. But we're good. So 23, 3 and 3. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling fine about this. So we have, you know, I haven't been using the trap too much. I haven't been using the tornado too much because this ice crossbow is just really good. It's just super good. But like I said, you know, I'm gonna going into the boss. I think I'm gonna take Giant. So what I'd like to do is go in there with some kind of maybe like a flawless or a broadsword, you know, something along those lines, just so that way, you know, I'll be able to make sure that I'm doing good damage. So again, just taking a quick peek. just want to see who's around, right? So here we go. So this is, I mean, it's not a bad trap area. I'm actually going to clear this out before I do this. So that wasn't a bad trap area, but you know, it's just something to think about, right? We have an elite here, so if you had a build that wasn't super strong, taking a curse and then, you know, hitting a trap area could be damage, you know, could be a little troublesome, and then hitting an area like this where there was an elite waiting, not the best. So I'm going to finish this room. So I'm not concerned about enemy count. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes the boss cell doors will have enemies behind them. In the Sepulcher, there's a 3 BC door and a 4 BC door that always have enemies in them. So no matter what, I'm going to have at least 2 rooms full of enemies to clear. So if let's say I happen to take that curse late and I didn't go through those doors yet, I wouldn't be in trouble. So, all right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear out the Inquisitor, and I think I feel safe enough to go back for that curse. So, I'm going to mosey on down here. Let me just take a peek in this section. Is this item? Stun grenade. Okay. So it really doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna leave these here. I'm gonna leave those there. I'm questioning whether I want to take Tornado. I want to keep Tornado because again I want to try to like have this be more of like a regular survival build, at least towards end game. So that way, the people that were like, "Hey, you should do a survival build," they'll actually get some footage. They'll be able to watch some of the video where I am doing a survival build instead of a green tactics build or a green brutality build, you know. All right, so like before, I'm going to take my time with the curse. One of the things I could do is I could actually just wait. I could wait this out. So as the malaise is ticking up pretty fast though. As enemies spawn in from the malaise, I can kill them to clear the curse. So that's an option, right? I can just do stuff like this. But I would prefer to clear the curse normally. All right, that's good. We only got one more. So how are we looking up top here? I can hear an Inquisitor down there. All right, perfect. We're good. Got the 30, so we're halfway to the 60. Which again, I feel like early on, 60 doors are great, or 30 doors from the Prisoner's Quarter, or like the 60 from Prom, or Sewers, or Arboretum. Later on, once you get a build going, I feel like they're good. And I mean, any extra stuff, right? You get extra money, you get a high quality item, like that's always good. But I feel like at this point in the run, the builds are kind of humming, right? For me at least, by the time I get past that first boss and I start to kind of either, like I did here, get like a sweet legendary, or maybe the build's just starting to take a different shape. Those 60 doors are more like, hey, I'm really glad I got that, versus this is something that I need to get my build online. At this point, things should already be kind of rolling. That's good. So I'm a little worried about a light. I think there might be one below me. There is. Okay, so we're not too bad. I don't know why I just aggroed that elite for no good reason. There we go. This ice crossbow is beautiful. Love it. Fantastic. This is... it's a good weapon. It's so good. And like I said, that's so funny. When we were in, what was it? The Arboretum. I was looking at that ice crossbow and I was like, hey, if I didn't have this fire blast, I'd think about taking this ice crossbow. And then lo and behold, we are gifted an excellent ice crossbow at just the right time. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As I mentioned, unfortunately, I took a hit there. It's a shame. Not great for bosses, but for biomes, it's great. So here's, like I was saying, here's the 4 BC door. I'm going to pop in here. There's going to be enemies just to show you folks. So there's always at least, like 9 or 10 enemies in each of these doors. I'm not going in there in the event that I do find another curse. So I'm going to keep that open. I'm going to remember. So like I said, that door is now dark. It's darkened, so I know that I went through it, but I'm going to remember to go back there. I promise. I promise. I feel like I say things, I'm like, I will do this thing, or I won't do this thing, and then I watch the video afterwards, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot what I was going to do. All right, so we're going to keep that shop. Again, we'll go in the 3 door just to show you enemies waiting for you. So if you're on 3, 4, or 5 BC, just remember, if you get a curse too late, you don't plan things well, or something goes off the rails, you know, you always have those doors as a failsafe. Alright, so let's take a peek here. Alright, so I'm going down the right path. You know, because sometimes you'll go down... There we go. Sometimes you'll go down paths and you'll think that you'll be going the right way, and then you hit the locked door, right? Or you hit a shop and you have to turn around. So I'm glad we're in the right spot. I'm going to use that turret that I barely used. You know, not too worried about food at this point. Should be a light right here. There we go. And there's a lore room. Don't need that. Grab the health scroll. And now let me see. Check the map. Is there another scroll? All right, so we're going to go into the boss with 28 scrolls. So that's decent, I guess. I prefer to see 30. I feel like 30 is a little higher, just in general, but also, you know, I took prom, so maybe that affected general scroll count. Got a couple extra health scrolls here, so also affected it, but. Like I said, you know, 30. I feel like 30 is like a good little sweet spot. All right, so now I'm going to panic just a little bit. I want to get to that light so that way I don't start taking damage. Good. Good. Yeah. This is nice. A nice uneventful Sepulcher, right? No. How often do people say, hey, that Forgotten Sepulcher was uneventful, but I've been very lucky, like I said, super lucky with this ice crossbow to get me through. So, got a couple options, right? So, like I said, I think I'm going to go giant here. I do want to pivot again, so that way this will kind of be like the 4th iteration of this build. Just so that way I'll, you know, showcase some other different types of gameplay. But also, you know, have a better build for a boss. Like I said, you know, this would actually be pretty decent against Timekeeper, but I do want to go giant. There's more scroll fragments that way, and yeah, I actually just prefer to go that route. All right, so like I said, we're gonna clear out this one. This was the 3BC door. So the 3BC door is I think it's a chest room, and then the 4BC door is. Pretty sure the 4BC door is a double item. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that we actually got the 60 too. I thought I missed the 60. That's great. Oh, that's fantastic. We're actually going to get the 60 twice. Yeah, I'm going to grab this. Taking Powerful Grenade because it's, like I said, it's an actual survival item. So I feel like we were able to get loosey-goosey earlier with the other items, and again, I unlocked that Fire Blast. I had that in the collector's menu. It's not something I found on the map, so start to continue to pivot in the right direction, I should say, not start to. Yeah, so we're good. We're doing fine. Love to see it. So since this is a 5EC video, I think I may have mentioned at the beginning, you know, there may be a couple little spoiler things that pop up here and there. I will not name the item that was just in that room in case you didn't see it. However, like you'll just notice that I recycled that stun grenade for $700. The item in the other room I recycled for, it was like 1,700 or 1,800. That spoiler skill has the highest base sell price of any item in the game. So when you do sell it, or I should say when you find it on an altar with 2 items like that, both items will always be the highest cost. So when you see that skill, the other item is going to be, basically you're going to recycle it and you're going to get some sweet money. So, all right, so let's think. So as far as other skills, this is just a better bombard. I could grab this. There's a possibility that this is mimicked. It's not. I have a ton of, oh my goodness, I have 61,000. All right, so I'm going to grab this. And then let's see if anything else good comes up. Oh, I love Rebound Stone. Double damage. I'm going to roll off the double damage, but I love Rebound Stone. So we're going to do Rebound Stone, Powerful Grenade. I think that might be it. I'm like eyeing that wolf trap. Alright, so now let's see what we got here for items. Gold Digger's great. So there's a chance this could be a mimic. It's not, okay. So again, I have so much money, so what I'm about to do is very reckless. So what I'll do is towards the end of the game, I just had 60,000 bucks. You might find yourself having 50,000 or 30,000 or whatever it is. If an item comes up in a shop that you might want and you have the money to buy more items, just buy it like I just did. So if I don't get something better than that Gold Digger, I'm great, but like maybe a good broadsword's gonna pop up, right? I don't want to take Oven Axe. It's a little bit slow. I don't want to take any of these items into the giant. And that's it. All right, so what I'm going to do, and pivot a little bit here. So for the giant fight, I'm going to use Ice Shield and I'm going to use Gold Digger. For biomes, I'm going to switch to a double offensive move here, and I'm going to use the throwable objects and the Gold Digger side by side. So that way, I don't know, that way I can kind of like almost continue with what I was doing. I'll have something that stuns and then something that does good damage, but it will be two different items. So we'll try something out, try something new. Ooh, beautiful. We're going to take this. The health scrolls are going to get a little bit off, but that's totally fine. The more damage, the better. That's what we want. So, cranking. All right, so first step, going to roll off double damage. Going to roll off biters from this. Let me see if I can get... So this one here, right? Enemies will bleed, burns the ground when the effect ends. I wonder if I can get something good here. Stuns and does bleeding. All right, that's good enough. All right. So now let's see. What do I want to do here? I might just keep my mutations. Because, I mean, at this point, like, if you look at my health, I got big HP, I got almost full health, I have all my flasks. And I could take something like combo, so that way it would, you know, beef up the attacks on my Gold Digger a bit. I could take Soldier's Resistance for extra health, which I really don't need. I could take Spite to do a little bit of extra damage, but I'm going to go back to these mutations afterwards. So instead of spending $16,000, because I just spent a lot of money, I'm just going to keep my mutations as is. You know, there are some situations like when you have a trap, you support, like that makes a huge difference. If you have a, you know, infantry bow or some other kind of ranged item, makes a big difference if you want to take point blank. But like with this, I feel like it's not going to make that huge of a difference. So let's see what happens. So fight's probably going to be a little bit slow. I'm hoping that this Rebound Stone starts going crazy, bouncing all over the place. Let's see. Right. I think it's just gone. We lost the Rebound Stone. There it is. Like it comes back for like one little thing. Oh my god, that was close. All right, parry this. So you notice, so like that side of the little island there is where I like to camp out. I'm fighting this guy. There we go. We're good. Perfect. So let me pick these up. So we get 4 scroll fragments from Giant. I think Timekeeper only gives you 3. So, which is funny because Giant, I think, is an easier fight than Timekeeper, but you get more scrolls. Anyways, what I was saying is that if you stay on this side of the platform, this ice isn't here, obviously. But as you notice, I kind of hung here and sort of like jumped off to the side when the Giant was pounding stuff down. This area right here, I don't know how many tiles it is, but the diamonds don't fall on you over here. So this is like a good place to hang out and sort of chill. So I like this build. What do we got going on here? Dracula's Castle. High Peak. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip Hand of the King. So I have 30 scrolls. Excuse me, I'm going to skip High Peak Castle. I got 30 scrolls. I'm going to get 2 here in the passage between. So I'm going to go up to 32. And the other thing, too, so I'm looking at the OBS timer. We're at $1:40 here. We're at 1 hour 40. So this is getting a little out of hand. So Valmont's Whip. That's actually really good. Should we do it? Let's do it. Let's do it. So Valmont's Whip is a brutality tactics melee item. The electric whip is a ranged item, but Valmont's Whip and Wrenching Whip are melee. So if you see when I use the whip, at the very end is like a little circle, little star circle there. That's where the crit is. So you want to kind of position yourself. It's like if the enemy was a door, I'd want to try to get in this position as good as I can, so that way I'm maximizing my crits. Hand of the King's a little bit slow, so I'm hopeful that I can do that there, but we'll see what happens. And the other thing too is, I think I mentioned this in my mutations video, or maybe it was in the melee. Yeah, it was in the melee tier list. The distance between your character and the edge of the whip is the same distance that Tranquility will proc. So that way, if you are playing, you can actually take this on tactics, and you will get damage bonus from no enemies being around you if you can actually get that far and make those hits, which is pretty sweet. So, wow. So in this, look at the self synergy on this. This is beautiful. So spreads oil, victims burn when they die, and it's 100% damage to a target and covered in burning oil. So if you're in like a group of enemies, you kill a couple of them, that's gonna be fantastic. I'm just gonna re-roll this now. So I'm gonna try to get ammo +3. I don't want biters though. Ooh. All right, that's pretty good. Do I have anything else for poison? Yeah, rebound stone. Yeah, we'll keep that. Just like before, I'm gonna keep my mutations. Save some cash, and we'll see how this goes. All right. So I have the Ice Shield. I don't love Ice Shield against Hand of the King because it will kind of interrupt his. Not getting the legendary after this one. It'll interrupt his attacks, which I don't love. So yeah, like you can see, there's like a brief pause. There we go. Not terrible. Not great. Not terrible. So this is manageable. So hopefully the rebound stone just like disappeared. It's like later, bro. Okay. It's gonna be big stomp. Pop up here. That. 2. There we go. So decent fight. Not the best, but that was adequate. It took a couple hits. Still, like I said, it's still got full potions. 69% health. We're doing good. All right, so I'm gonna take a moment, real quick. So, like I mentioned, a couple little spoilery type things here and there, but this here, from this point on, is going to be all spoilers. So basically, beyond this 5BC door, if you haven't seen this content yet, this is the 5BC endgame. You can only get here. Let me say it one more time, 5BC. I love this part of the game. It's one of my favorite parts, but I don't want folks to accidentally stumble into this if they're not ready for it, or they don't want to see what's beyond this door. So take a moment. If you choose to not continue this video at this point, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching this far. Even if you just kind of skipped around through the timestamps just to sort of see what's up. If you're watching this part and you choose to not move forward, just want to say thank you. I'll say goodbye to you here. As always, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. But for the rest of us who do want to continue the video, we're going into 5BC. So let's go, baby. I love it. I love how it just says next level. It doesn't actually tell you what it is. This tells you what it is, though. We're going to the Astro Lab. All right. So missed that door. All good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out. I'm going to switch out my mutes. Oh, see, this is one of the things I don't love about this area is when you try to empty your backpack. Look at this. So if you try to empty your backpack, you can do it here. But if you try to empty it here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, you're just going to end up, you're just going to get, what do you call it? You're just going to end up getting, you're going to hit the quotes or whatever you want to call it. You're just going to get that context stuff instead. So that was cool. And the other thing too is if you look here from the Guardian's Haven, there's a gray line that goes out to the throne room here. I actually didn't take that path before on this save file. So that was the first time that I escaped Hand of the King. So pretty sick. All right, so we're making it. We're making it to the end. I have a good feeling about this. Like I said, this run has felt really good. I feel pretty good about it. Do I need kill rhythm now? No. Is it fine? Yes. Yes! That was sick. I was like, man, I wonder if I can get that librarian with the rebound stone. That was perfect. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Beautiful. So generally, you want to have some kind of skill to take care of those guys. So like the powerful grenade's good. I love coming in here with like Giant's Whistle or Tesla Coil or something to evaporates those guys off the map. But using rebound stone like that was also pretty sweet. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right, so how are we doing here with Necro? So we're at 79, 78. So it looks like we're getting about 0.5% per kill. So the way that Necro works, some of you folks might already know this, but as you get higher in HP, not like max HP, but the more health that you have, the less it will restore. So basically what happens is when you're low, it'll give you a big chunk, and then as you get higher, as you start to get towards this, 70%, 80%, whatever it is, like it will heal you less. I think I'm going to take Alucard's sword into the collector's fight. I think so. We'll see. All right. So we get a good scroll here. This is great. That was a 9. I should know this by now. I talk about it all the time. That was like a 9 or 11% chance. So that was a very, very minor chance of that happening. You know what? I might actually just take this now. Let's see how this feels compared to the Valmont Whip. It might be a little bit tricky since the Alucard sword teleports you around a bit. So I might end up taking some extra damage here and there, but let's see how it ends up, right? So we're at 33 scrolls. This is great. I feel like that's obviously, the more scrolls you have, the better. That's no question, but I feel like that's a really nice spot where things just start to kind of melt. Yeah, see, we're getting this stuff with one hit. This is beautiful. The other great thing about Alucard's sword, you probably just noticed, I just went right into a set of spikes. I did not mean to do that. I went right into a set of spikes, and it ended up not doing any damage to me, which was great. So that happens with what do you call them too? Thornies. Little trick there, running into the wall to get the librarian to not chase you. He got tagged with another rebound stone. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, so we're good. That's actually that's a chunky heal. I think that's a 50, right? Yeah. So we got ourselves a big heal, just in case, right? In case something happens. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to get cocky. I'm not too concerned though, based on how this entire run's been going. I feel like we're in good shape. I do not want ice shards. But I'm going to leave that on the map just in case. You never know, right? I could take a huge hit and get down to 1 HP and panic and need to grab that. Who knows? Also, this run feels so good. I'm not even using the throwable objects. Even though I have kill rhythm, even though I have specifically, I set out to use a double main build. I'm not even using them because this is just working on its own. So let me start to incorporate that in there. I hear something teleporting up there. There we go. A runner. All right, so we're rolling. So we got one elite down. So generally with the Astral Lab, you know, the tower is going to be to the right in the area that we can't see yet. And there's one elite over here, and the next one I'm assuming is going to be up this pathway over here. So that's the way I'm going to roll. Man. All right, so we got our food shop. I don't want to, so I was thinking about buying that, the potion, the cough syrup there, but I want to be a little bit more mindful of my cash. Like, you know, I dropped a bunch of money, so now on the other side of that, I don't know what's in that skill shop. I might want to grab something to replace the powerful grenade or the rebound stone, so it's not important for me to pick up that the cough syrup, so I'm just gonna let it roll. All right, we're gonna make our way down. So this is gonna be funny. So I had recorded a very bad run before this run. So I recorded. It was, oh my god, it was so bad. I went to, what was it? I had a cursed Arboretum, I had cursed Prison Depths, and then something else happened. But the run was like 45 minutes, and I hit. You know, I hit stop and I was like, I'm not gonna post that. It was just too, it was like, I don't know, it just wasn't that great of a run in general. I was struggling a lot, even though it was, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. And then it's funny, so I start this run, you know, end up getting tagged right at the beginning, whatever, the quote unquote warm-up, right? But I can't remember how I started this video, because I remember starting the other video, but I don't remember how much I said at the beginning of this one. So hopefully I thanked everybody for watching, for clicking over here. I think I might have said that, but thanked everybody for coming over here, that I appreciate your time, and that I hope that this is helpful since, oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. That is so funny, right? So what did I say about that big heal? What did I say about that big heal? Anyway, so I hope I said that I was grateful for everyone for clicking over here, that this would be a good video. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. Thanks for hanging out. This has been, again, like I said, this has been a long video. We're looking at, what are we at here? We're pushing 2 hours here, baby. So we're at a buck 53 minutes. So if all goes well, that's 3. That's 3 librarians that have been lost to rebound stones. Somebody start a foundation, right? Those poor things. Let me see if I can angle this in here too. Got him. Love it. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna end this with a win. Oh my god, this is so funny. Oh my god, this is hysterical. Oh my god, that is so funny! I think that this is the new thing. I think that I'm never going to post a successful run on this channel ever again in my entire life. All right, let's see what happened there. Let's go back. Was it 30 seconds? Let's see what happened. Oh, no, let's go back to a minute. I can't believe that happened again. I can't believe it. All right, so here's where I'm saying, hey, start a foundation for all the librarians I took out, right? Coming over here. What could I have done differently? So I came up here, right? So we're good here. Got that guy out of the way. Okay, so this is just bad news. What I should have done here is I should have hit that switch, went up to the left, but I didn't. I engaged, got hit 3 times there, and then and then right here I tried to heal, and the Malaise enemy got me. Wow. I have no words. I have no words, right? What is it? How about, it's not about the destination. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? It's not about where you end up. It's about the friends you made along the way. Whatever it is, right? But hey, we did it. It's fine. I think overall that was like a pretty good experience. I promise at some point, the person who has an entire channel dedicated to Dead Cells, who has given tutorials on every BC from 0 to 5, who has all these guides, all these things, I promise you that someday I will complete a run with live commentary. It's going to finish. There's going to be confetti. There's going to be balloons. There's going to be a cake. I'm actually going to buy a cake and I'm going to put it in the fridge. And then when I do my next run, I'm going to take that cake and I'm going to put it on my desk. You can hear me tap it on my desk. I'm going to put it right on this desk and I'm going to be looking at that cake and I'm going to say, I got you. I'm going to make it through the game. I'm going to eat that cake. I'm not going to eat it in front of the microphone because that would probably be not pleasant for you folks to listen to. But I'm going to eat that cake and I'm going to say, after 6 years, I finally beat a run. Finally beat a run. All jokes aside, that doesn't bother me at all. I think it's really funny. There's a small part of me that's like, oh, people are gonna look at that and be like, this dude can't even beat his own game. Like, what kind of bullshit channel is this? Like, dude can't even finish a run. But like, Dead Cells comes at you hard, comes at you fast, and looking back on that, right? So what could I have done? So if let me just go back into the video again real quick. What could I have done differently? So, number one, I could have taken disengagement instead of kill rhythm. I could have, right? That because I wasn't really using the throwable objects that much. I kind of forgot about them because the Alucard sword was doing so much good damage. I could have taken disengagement just to ensure that the run would end, but based on how this was going, the fact that I had 4 potions, I was doing well. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but when I stopped thinking about the run, I started thinking about, oh, did I do this earlier in the video? Did I say these things? I hope everyone knows that I appreciate them. Let me say that now. Like, when I started trying to think about stuff I already did, I got out of the zone. I took those couple hits, ate that food, and then I got wrecked. So, that's it. That's it. So no crazy laughter, no loud exclamations upon my death. This is just the way it goes. And yeah, of course there's a part of me that's like embarrassed. Like maybe, I don't know, what are we looking at? 15%? Maybe 15 or 20% embarrassed, right? Because the amount of arrogance that I had. Go back and count how many times I said I wasn't worried about the run. Maybe 5, 10, 15 times, whatever it was. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but you know what? It happens. It happens, and I'm really glad that I recorded this run. There was a lot of good stuff. I think it was cool to show different builds, right? I told you, it felt good. So we started with Fire Blast. We moved on to Money Shooter. We went from Money Shooter to Ice Crossbow, then to Gold Digger, then to Valmont's Whip, and then over to Alucard's sword. And then after we hit that sort of halfway point towards the Sepulcher or whatever, we started moving towards more of a survival build. So I'm really happy with that. You know, the way it ended is just the way it ended. It happens. Only thing you can do is pick up your dead man's bag and just keep on rolling. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We're pushing 2 hours. This is absolutely hilarious. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope there were things that were helpful for you. I am always open to feedback. As you folks know, I read every comment that I get. So if anybody has suggestions on builds, if anyone has showcases they want me to kind of try out, if there's other sort of live commentary type stuff that you folks think might be helpful, then just hit me up. Like I said, I read every comment. I see everything. So I'll get back to you. And then if it's something I can work into the schedule, I'll work into it. And you know, what's funny is that I took this time off, you know, last month or 2 months ago, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'll put videos up whenever I can. But I'm really enjoying this sort of format. Like I said, I do have a couple things that I'm scripting out for other actual videos. But like, I think this might be like a thing that I end up doing a little bit more. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully, you know, if there's more videos to come, you enjoy those too. So I hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking good care of yourself. I don't know where you folks are. Where I am, it's cold. It's super cold up here. So if you are living in the North America, Canada, whatever, and it's cold as hell, like I hope you guys are staying warm, taking care of yourselves. And yeah, appreciate your time. As always, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. I'll catch you on the next one.